Portland Public Schools is located within the city of Portland, Oregon, in Monoma County. As employees of PPS, it's vital that we acknowledge that every school building, court, field, stadium, office, and learning space we utilize has taken place on Indigenous land. As such, we honor the tribal people whose way of life, traditions, culture, and in every sense, ways of being was taken from them. Acknowledgement is a simple, powerful way of showing respect for those whose land we are on, is a step toward correcting the stories and practices, language and art that erase Indigenous peoples' history and culture toward inviting and honoring the truth in relationships with our Indigenous land, resources, and communities. We want to take a moment to acknowledge the stolen lands on which we meet today from our various locations around the area. This land has been home for thousands of years to the native nations of the Monoma, Kalapuya, Chinook, Clackamas, Malala, Kathlamet, Tualatin peoples, among others. Native peoples hunted deer and other animals, fished for salmon and other fish, gathered traditional root and berry foods, traded, lived within traditional spiritual and governmental structures, and more. Boarding schools, tribal termination, racism, and other aspects of colonialism have continued to negatively impact Native people since that time. We can't undo what was done, but we can honor and acknowledge the descendants of the original peoples of this land, those who have passed, as well as the land itself.
I am extremely grateful to have this opportunity to come before you and share what I hopefully believe will be a word of encouragement to each of you listening. For those of you that don't know me, again, my name is Herman Green, and I am a proud father of four amazing children, all of whom have graduated from Roosevelt High School. I am the husband of one. My amazing wife, my best half, not my better half, but my best half. She also graduated from Roosevelt High School. Her name is Nike Green, and I'm sure many of you may probably already know her, but if you don't, then you want to make it your business to get to know her because she's just absolutely amazing. And so that commercial being said, let's move on to why we're here. When I was asked to share a word of encouragement, I began to think about who it was that I was going to be talking to. And what I began to ponder on is that we're all so much more than the titles that we have. I'm so much more than just a PPS school board director. Within PPS, that is my responsibility. I am a PPS school board director for Zone 4, which I believe is the North Portland region. But I'm so much more than that. And like yourself, you're so much more than the titles that they've given you. You're so much more than just an admin. You're so much more than just a teacher. You're so much more than a custodian. You're so much more than the person that works in the back that doesn't get the limelight. You're so much more than all of these things. For many of us, the roles that we've taken on, the roles that you specifically have taken on have been that of a counselor. You've been that of an advisor. You've been that of a life coach. You've been that of a support staff. You've been so much more than just the titles that we've been given. A lot of our students, they depend on you to not just come to work to do what the school is paying you for, but they depend on you to come to this office, to come to this school, to come to this job, prepared to undergird them in all the many struggles that they may be dealing with. So you're not just coaching a student, but you might be coaching the mom, or you might be coached to the grandmother, or you may be coached to the uncle. You may be coached to the brother. You're so much more than what we're paying you for. And that's why it was so humbling for me to be asked to say a word of encouragement to the people who have already been doing so much more than what you signed on to do. Most of you in this room, you didn't do this job because you're like, oh man, I'm going to get rich. You didn't take this job because you're like, I'm finna make all this money and I'm gonna be able to retire and sit back and live a fat life. You took this job because you truly believed in the work that you're doing. You believed that you wanted to be a part of the change. You wanted to be a part of the transformation. You wanted to be a part of the reason that this life sprouted into something greater. And that's why you come back to work. That's why you continue to come in and day out. That's why you don't quit. That's why you don't give up. That's why you refuse to allow this system that we all know has some kinks in it. This system that we all know needs some work on. You refuse to allow this system to fail because you believe in what it's supposed to be. And so for me to come and encourage you, I feel like I oftentimes need you to encourage me, because there's spaces and times where I'm like, how are they still showing up? How are they continuing to show up and to love on these families? How are they continuing to show up and love on these kids? How are they continuing to be the navigators that so many of our students and families depend on you being? And the only way that you can do that is because I believe that most of you, you're superheroes. You have a cape somewhere. You got something that gives you a supernatural power, a supernatural ability to be able to move on when others quit, to press on when others want to give up, to lift others up when you yourself need to be lifted up. The only way you can do that is you have to be a superhero, because normal human beings can't do what you do. You're a superhero. You took the starfish story to a whole nother level. You took the story of It Matters to this one to a whole nother level, because you decided that I'm not just going to stop at this one, but I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to go to the next one. And even when the tide came in and started trying to push you away, you weighted yourself down, anchored yourself down, and said, no, I'm not going to give up on these kids. I'm not going to give up on these families. I'm not going to give up on these individuals that need me to be more than what they have available to them. And the only way that you can do that is you have a superpower. You're a superhuman. You're a super individual. And for that, I'm extremely grateful to be your servant. I'm extremely grateful to have the opportunity to serve you as you serve the students, as you serve the families, as you serve the communities. I know that with your support, I know that with your help, with the work that you're doing, and as we work together to create the change that we want to see within our district, that PPS is not going to be the same in 2 to 3 years. We're undergoing some shifts and some changes right now because we're hearing you and we're listening to you. And the goals that we have as a district, the goals that we have as a school, the goals that we have for our students are larger than life right now because we're listening to you. We're going to, our students, when they leave PPS, they're going to have a degree that actually means something. They're going to walk away with a diploma that actually means something, because it wasn't just given to them. They earned it. And we're going to have individuals that leave our school and they're going to be ready for the next journey of their life, whether that be going to college, whether that be going to a career, or whether that be going on to armed services, or whatever it is that they go into. They're going to be ready because they have you. They have you walking with them. They have you guiding them. They have you lifting them up. They have you supporting them. They have you being a navigator to things that they're not even aware that they need right now. They have superheroes working with them on a daily basis. So to each of you in this room, to each of you under the sound of my voice, to each of you listening to this tape right now, or this video right now, or however it's being displayed, I want to encourage you to continue to do what you do. Remember why you got in this to begin with. Remember the families that are dependent upon you. Remember the students that are dependent upon you. For so many of you, you're in the background, and all the work that you're doing, most of the time is not being seen. It's not out in the front. It's not the limelight. It's in the background. It's the setting up of the scaffolding. It's making sure that everything is in place. It's making sure that all the pieces are there. It's making sure that the families and the students have all the tools that they need to get what they need. And oftentimes that goes unseen. But I want you to know that it's not unnoticed, that the work that you do is not unnoticed, simply because it's not seen or it's not the public face does not mean that it's not noticed. Because there are so many of us out here that recognize that without you working in the background, most of this stuff wouldn't get done. Without you continuing to be the amazing superhero that you are, a lot of this stuff that we celebrate would be lacking. So continue to do what you do. Continue to be the amazing individuals that you are. And with your efforts, with the love that you have for our students, and the love that you have for our families, and the love that you have for these communities, I know that the transformation that our school is about to undergo is going to be 1,000 times greater than what we can even see or imagine right now. And so thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your love and support. And I look forward to working with you in the near future. Y'all have a great day.